San Francisco, California. Race for 8. Del Grand Dealership Group and the WPH as we get this men's round of 16 match underway with Martin Mulkerrins from Ireland and the Olympic clubs, Emmett Peixoto, Dave Vincent alongside David Fink for this opening rally here as Emmett is into the server's box. Our referee is Vic Perez.
I call that an opening statement from Emmett Peixoto.
Well, this is a different Emmett Peixoto that Martin Mulkerrins is seeing, but I think it's also possibly a different Martin Mulkerrins that Emmett's seeing.
1-0.
Well, if you watched Martin this morning when he qualified, he looked absolutely invincible. Power, flat kills from everywhere. Now, obviously, Emmett brings a different level entirely. But not a good start there for Martin, who's now lost the first 3 rallies of this match.
2, play 0. Short. Second serve.
What can happen, Dave, if you are a guy like Martin coming in here and it's a terrible error, you make an early mistake and now you start playing
3, play 0.
more passively. You don't go for shots, and that's really going to hurt you. Now Martin can't win 1 rally here.
That's terrible to start out 4-0 against the home crowd,
really
hometown favorite.
I mean, that's a double bogey start, basically. And now Martin's got to shoot that ball.
I think Emmett's going to find out what it feels like to play Emmett, and vice versa.
And Martin has made that error already. But talking to Emmett yesterday, he said,
0, play 4.
I just show up to play. I don't care who I play. And I think you saw evidence of that today, Dave, when he found out he was playing the toughest guy in this qualifier. That's what I'm here to do. I'm prepared for everything.
Well, as they say, expect the worst and hope for the best. And there's another miss from Emmett now. 1-4 is a score for Mulkerrins.
Yeah, Emmett could easily have stretched this lead to 5 or 6-0, but instead, Emmett Peixoto letting Martin hang around here.
Short. Huh? Yeah. Second serve. Side up. 4, play 1. Point. 5, play 1.
And Emmett's doing exactly what I think you have to do playing Martin Mulkerrins, which is to just attack.
I think we're going to have to replay that. Replay. 5, play 1.
Was a bad bounce there?
Yeah, it did hit that camera. Fortunate for Martin because he was completely fooled with the hop.
Hold it, replay.
I don't know that that's a necessary call.
No arguing, but you're not really going to get a lot of arguing from Mulkerrins anyway. I tried to get him into an argument. He got out of it before we could even start it, so I don't really see him getting too upset.
1, play 5.
It's a tough moment here for the Peixoto family as Courtney is in a pro match on a adjacent court. Doesn't it always just seem to happen that way, Dave?
Yeah. You have family members. Nice left kill shot there from Emmett, but you have family members texting each other from about 15 feet away with scores.
5, play 1. Short.
I have 5 family members
Second serve.
15 feet away from each other, all put in prison on the same day. So it's kind of, I have a relation in a sense that
There's
way.
actually 3 Peixotos on the court at once right now. I'll let you solve that riddle.
I already solved it.
Oh.
But I
looked like you were struggling.
No, I had to think for a second what you meant by that. don't think
And
that.
Dave, let's talk a little bit about Anthony Sullivan here, who's to Emmett Peixoto's left. This young man, 16 years old, Dave, advanced to the quarterfinals of the 19 and under junior nationals, played here, had a 15-14 lead on Stephen Cooney in the qualifier final, ended up losing that match, but what an amazing performance for him. I mean, that's what this Race for 8 tour is all about, Dave, giving these young guys a chance, a reason to dream. And he's got that dream. He's got the bug, the dream, the bug. I mean, whatever you want to call it.
And he's dressed to the nines
Yeah.
as well. No, I mean, look, here he is hanging out with the pros now.
He's
That's
line judging. I mean, this is a big, huge milestone for him.
Yeah, 16-year-old player. He was up 15-14 against Steve Cooney. Wins, that final point to go into halftime in the qualifier final.
Easy for you to say.
I have never said that before.
Yeah.
Qualifier final, where he could have, scored points and did. Very amazing. Look at that power from Mulkerrins. I can say Mulkerrins, but I can't say qualifier final.
Yeah.
It requires moving your lips, and I really don't like to do that.
1 play 7.
I like to drink water while you talk. You'll get that later.
This is a shot Martin has to put away. And you see he doesn't.
Yeah, but that one he does on a crack off the. But Emmett thinks it's a terrible shot, but really, Martin is aiming for that wall.
Well, it's not a terrible shot, but Emmett would have picked it up had it not cracked out flat.
That was deep. That was a nice deep 2-wall pass. Just happened to hit a crack. I think it's actually benefit Emmett.
Second serve.
He didn't have to run for the next one. Oh, crazy bounce back there.
Point.
For whatever reason, Dave, the Z serve really catches in that back left corner. Notice that today in my match.
3 play 7.
And now all of a sudden, Martin Mulkerrins showing some signs of life after just a dreadful start. Still hasn't located his kill shot with either hand.
4 play 7.
But he's hanging around anyway.
For those at home keeping score, it was Marco Chavez defeating Anthony Celesto in a tiebreaker here.
7 play 4. Short.
It was a 15-7 tiebreaker win.
Second
Looked
serve.
like both guys late in that tiebreaker were hurting Dave. Both Anthony and Marcos. Marcos had a big enough lead.
I didn't really see a bad
Just
bounce.
as Marcos' back was tightening up, it was Anthony's calf
you
that
want,
started tightening
yeah,
up.
I didn't see a bad bounce. Did you see it? I'm gonna call. Yeah, I'm gonna call point. 8 play 4.
8 serves 4 here. Peixoto up by 4 against Martin Mulkerrins. Remember, Peixoto jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Peixoto's a good artist, Dave.
Oh,
I mean, Mulkerrins would get a side out off of 99% of the people he'd play.
Well, I think Mulkerrins is used to playing get artists. He plays Dermot Nash and Killian Carroll.
Look at another shot again. How does Emmett dig these out? And then he drills Emmett in the back, and then Emmett's still serving.
Circle that one on your scorecard.
That'll make you tired right there.
Second serve. Check ball.
These guys are both hitting each other with bullets, and not only bullets, but these are rally-ending shots that are unfortunately catching the opponent on the way in. I don't know what's more frustrating, Dave, when you hit a great serve and your opponent just barely flips it back and then hits you on the way in as the server, takes away your setup. Or you've got that revolving door, you know you've hit it perfect, a flat roll, and it hits your opponent in the back of the leg. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it is frustrating. But you have another 300 shots you're going to hit during the match, so you have to just focus on doing what you came there to do.
4 play 8.
Martin Mulkerrins qualified for the first time in Salt Lake City at the Race for 8-2 in 2013.
Wow.
Where he drew Emmett Peixoto. They played in the round of 16 in a 1-game-to-25 match, and Martin Mulkerrins upset Peixoto, who at that time was ranked 6th. And now there'll be no surprises. But you know Emmett had that Irish curse. He had
5 play
lost
8.
11 straight matches to the Irish dating back to 2010.
Short, short.
Before, Dave, he had defeated, and I know you'll
Second serve.
help me out here, but it was Dermot Nash.
Okay.
at
I was
the
thinking
US
about
Open.
that one of the craziest Irish players I know, Mondo Ortiz,
Yeah.
who defeated him at Plummer.
Yeah, well, that kept his streak alive of losing to the Irish.
Well, I thought Mondo is Irish.
Yeah.
But Mondo or
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a towel.
Not a lot of momentum, I don't think, so far in this match, Dave. Both guys trying to get a streak going,
Well,
but
the
Emmett's built, he started the match up 4-0. and
that's
he's just kinda
the only
maintained it.
momentum part, and then since then
Yeah.
it's been
Right.
Kind of back and forth.
ta for ta.
Yeah.
On a side court, we have an amazing match going on that's not being filmed right now, as the facility is assuring that we maintain the broadcast schedule, so we're unable to film the Peixoto versus Daskalakis match in the women's pro round of
plays
8.
5.
And I think everybody in the world wanted to see that one. Instead, we're watching Brother Peixoto.
And Emmett really crowds Martin there.
Hold it, replay that, replay. Yeah. Yeah, screen ball.
And I thought these guys forgot who was serving.
8 plays 5. Nine plays 5. Side up.
That's only Martin's 3rd kill shot with his right hand in this match. He's had a lot of opportunities, Dave. He hasn't missed a
5
lot. He's
plays
only
9.
has 2 unforced errors with his right hand, but he's had 24 opportunities that he hasn't put away.
Nine plays 5. Short. Second serve. Five plays 9.
Mulkerrins with a great serve there. He gets the setup, and what an amazing pass shot.
Yeah, I don't. It's lit. Okay. I didn't really see a. Okay, yeah, I will. Yeah.
Emmett asking for a slide there. From our angle, it looked like Martin just blew this ball
6 plays
past
9.
him. We'll see here. I thought that was power from Martin Mulkerrins and spin. Those are the kind of shots Martin will have to make to be competitive here in
9
this
plays
match.
6.
Strange
Point.
misplay
Second
from
timeout.
Martin. Emmett hits a front wall, right side wall that just kind of dies
1
in that
minute.
back left corner, and Martin didn't make any play on it.
Slide.
This is a strange way to win a point for Emmett here. Watch this ball bounce here, and it'll come a couple shots from now. Just one of those strange shots that bounces, hits the back wall, and comes out parallel. Emmett Peixoto far, I think, from his best ball right now, but it's enough to lead 10-6. 2/3 of the way to winning this first game.
Resuming play. 10, play 6.
Martin just does
11,
not look
play
comfortable.
6.
And Emmett wisely changing the speed of the ball. The strategy might have been good there, but the execution terrible from Emmett Peixoto.
6 plays 11.
Emmett is
7
allowing
plays
Martin
11.
to hang around. This game's not over. Dave, you get the feeling that Martin's getting setups on his Emmett's return of serve almost
11
every
plays
time,
7.
but he's not doing anything with them.
No, I heard what you said there, but
7 plays 11.
still think there's some fight in the guy like Martin Mulkerrins here.
He's not taking care of his first strike opportunities.
Well, he's hitting those cracks pretty good. Nice get there from Emmett. Roundhouse flipped it up.
Well, you know, Dave, in boxing, they'd call this going to the body, but I don't think Emmett's the kind of guy you want to go to the body on, because Emmett, he'll just keep battling. Terrible air there. Glove change for Emmett Peixoto, 2 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to take a 2-minute break
Okay.
with them. You stay tuned. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's
Well,
about to
just
fall
anything
over.
he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
to be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look! Your crush is looking at you.
Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Back in San Francisco, the Olympic Club, as they had that timeout here, as Martin Mulkerrins steps up, kicks the ball back to the front wall. Emmett Peixoto at his home club. He's a club pro, wife watching courtside, family in attendance.
This is the feature match of the night here, Davis. The Olympic Club's handball ambassador.
All right, resuming play. 8 plays 11. 8 plays 11.
Score here is 8-11.
Emmett just missing there. That's the kind of rally Emmett wants to play, and he got what is a setup for him.
But I don't see Martin breathing hard like, you know that Emmett's going to try to wear him down and get him tired and then do the Muhammad Ali thing to him. But Martin doesn't look like it's affecting him much. And 2 points is not that far away.
That was a clutch shot from Emmett because Emmett's trying to stop the bleeding here. He's led by 4 or 5 points throughout most of this game. Now all of a sudden leading by just 2. Emmett was up 10-5, cruising along.
Second serve.
A lot of chatter, Dave.
9 plays 11.
This would be going to a tiebreaker. I see no indication that it won't. Dave, this is one of those things where your opponent gets on a roll and you feel like
10 plays 11.
What can I do here? I mean, I had a lead,
short,
but now I feel like I can't even score.
Well, we saw that with Mondo Ortiz in his match that he had earlier, where he was down 9-1, came back and won 15-12, and you're just thinking, well, I'm just going to get a couple points here because it's going to be easy, and then all of a sudden you never score really much again. And
hit him.
I think sometimes having that big lead makes you lose your focus. Just like, you've been in the deficit where somebody else had a big lead against you, and all of a sudden you scored 18 straight points, and it worked to your advantage. Both players go through a little bit of something. Emma's going through this sort of, do I take my foot off the pedal? And Martin is trying to put his foot more onto the pedal. Interesting contrast between the two. And Martin,
terrible air there for Martin.
Misses the most important shot of the tournament for him.
Yeah.
But this is exactly what the insiders said would happen. Yeah. Oh, that ball just skips up for some reason. Emmett unable to get his hand on it. And there's a side out, so that bad shot from Martin doesn't really hurt him too much here.
On a 5-1 run right now in serving.
I think Martin has a great serve that is just not brought up a lot.
Well, when he hits that serve, it's absolutely amazing. You need so much power to carry the ball into the side wall and keep the ball down. And he goes for it again, an amazing ace.
First timeout, 1 minute.
Mulkerrins now, who got off to a really slow start here. Maybe that was by design. He's pacing himself. He says you can't win the match in the first 5 minutes, so I'm just going to feel my way into this match. And you can see now he's progressively hitting the ball harder. He's playing a little bit more aggressively. He's moving a little bit better, and Emmett has not been able to go to that next gear.
Now in that 21-point format that we've seen throughout the years, this is about the point in that match where it becomes serious. And now we only have about 3 more points to go, or 4 more points in Emmett's case, to win this, and 3 for Martin.
30 seconds.
And you can see there's this sort of like, now I think you're going to come back in after the timeout. There's a kind of a sense of urgency here. Maybe a final push to go out to your pro elite level and try to step it up a notch. That, you know, is this where the pressure begins right here after this timeout, I guess is what I'm saying for both parties.
I think, you know, Emmett believes in taking his timeouts, and he's got his strategy, he thinks about this, but sometimes now you've given yourself even more opportunity to think about, you know, I've lost 7 out of 8 points now. This guy's serving. Really, he's close to winning the first game that I was controlling.
Play. 12 plays 11.
Oh, Martin dives in, unable to dig that ball out.
You're appealing the serve. I saw the serve good.
If we can take a look at that on the replay, one of those players agrees. Martin has a video replay, but he's not taking it. Not to say that it wasn't short, but he might have seen something.
I think it was good.
I don't know. That was close. This is right when the ball goes over the line. Yes, it is over the line.
12.
I saw that one as he matrixed back, and that ball hitting Emmett. Luckily, one of the frames that ball hit, you can see it shudder right on the over the line there on the replay.
11 plays 12.
11 to 12. Dave, you have intel on that women's round of 8 match between Courtney Peixoto and Danielle Daskalakis. Who won the first game?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it was a 15 to 14 win, but
yeah.
I didn't see who won it.
Wait, you can win 15 to 14?
Well, it's supposed to be by 2, but apparently
13 plays 12.
players and the referee had an agreement to play straight up, which is breaking club rules. But I still want to know who won it.
Hold it, replay that.
So Danielle Daskalakis wins that first one, 15 to 14, and that one's
12.
being under review. We're at 13 to 12. Emmett now taking the lead here.
2 straight aces for Emmett.
It's unreal.
Catches that left side crack. So while Courtney goes down in game number 1, it's Emmett who looks like he's on the verge of taking game 1. He goes for the 3rd straight crack on the left wall. Wow.
Game. 3 minutes.
And Emmett, you know, that would be disrespectful in NFL if you did that.
Yeah.
But Emmett Peixoto smacking the hand of Martin Mulkerrins, and that is one of those that you really are happy with yourself to get out of. You can see that big sigh of relief from Emmett Peixoto. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Stick around. We'll have more exciting action from the Olympic Club in San Francisco here at racefor8.com. Stick with us.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. little help. I made it.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
At shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
We're back in San Francisco, California. Olympic Club, beautiful downtown San Francisco, where we had the Alcatraz tour that we took yesterday, Dave, Pier 33. Bought those tickets months in advance to get that exclusive front row seat to the ferry that went across to the Rock, where we did the audio tour. Amazing city, by the way, and the backdrop, I guess you would say, the city lights. It's really enjoyable. But here, though, Martin's trying to spoil this backdrop that Emmett Peixoto lives in here in San Francisco. Losing the first game did Martin Mulkerrins, but hopefully he can rally himself here.
Emmett serving the second game.
Looked like he was well on his way to playing spoiler late in the first game. Led 12-11, but then it was Emmett on a 4-point burst.
Second serve.
Well, you have to remember, Emmett's ranked 3rd on the Pro Tour here. He's not going to give in too easy to Martin.
I was watching a qualifier match with Martin, and you know, one of the guys was a big favorite. He said it's always tough when you play.
1 play 0.
You know, he's got nothing to lose. I said, well, they actually have the same amount to lose, and I'd much rather play someone who's an underdog rather than someone that's beat me 10 times to none. Wouldn't you?
Second serve.
So, I mean, I don't know how I worked that into what you were saying. I feel like there was some connection. It doesn't feel like it now, though. And Dave, we're on the adjacent side wall to Emmett Peixoto, and we heard that crash. Emmett coming into the side wall.
0 play 1.
Yeah, that was really loud.
Short.
I can't tell if we're having earthquakes here or there's a handball match next to us.
Look at the court coverage from Emmett, amazing. Martin has hit 4 great shots in a row. And he has to hit just an incredible revolving door 38-footer to win the rally. If you would have won that rally 5 times against most players.
1 play 1.
We say that, but then you say every player's a get artist. So maybe not.
Yeah, at this level, Dave,
isn't that really what separates these guys?
Yeah,
though?
I mean, I think you have 2 very elite players playing each other right now. That's just the only way to define
2 play
it.
1.
I felt that Martin Mulkerrins made plays that were better than 90% of the stuff I've seen in handball tournaments lately, and yet Emmett just dug them out like they were routine. Emmett just scraped that ball.
Emmett's got to put that away. And another mistake.
Martin's going to put that away, though, and he does. Right corner. Nice kill. Slaps his hands together.
Now, Dave, I know what you're going to say, that Emmett Peixoto doesn't get tired. I think Emmett Peixoto is fatigued right now. He needs his second win. He had to make a big comeback in that first game. And I think that took a lot out of him. He looks a little bit flat right now.
Well, there's no doubt that he gets tired. But I think it's part of his routine as well, though. And I could be wrong on that, but I think that's kind of his thing, that when he needs to get a shot. Yeah, but he gets everything. How could a tired guy get those shots? That's what I mean.
Well, he's kind of got that Djokovic thing where he looks like he's about to stop and he just keeps going. Great shot from, oh, and Emmett misses it. Had that lined up perfectly.
4-1.
Oh my. This is incredible, Dave.
This rally's still going.
33 shots.
And look at that fist pump there from Martin Mulkerrins in the crowd. Even Emmett's wife can't believe what she's seen. Crowd slapping their hands together. There's a huge crowd that has formed over to that John Iglesias match going on right now, and that's what you're hearing, that vocalness coming from the gallery there.
This is why, Dave, they created DirecTV with all those 4 boxes in one, so you could, I mean, I want to see every match. They're all so good right now, but right now we're being treated to, like you said, 2 of the most elite players in the sport.
Well, we're going to find out what happened with John Iglesias, because you heard the crowd get vocal, and now you see a whole bunch of movement here all over to the show court. That means that it was over with.
$30 seconds.
Well, we just got that update. The reason why we're hearing that cheering during that rally there, people should be cheering for that rally.
Yeah, but I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Danny Cordova lost 14-16 to John Iglesias. That was just game number 1.
Wow.
Now let's look at this replay. This is the one where we heard that cheering, but it was a little premature. And look at that emotion from Martin Mulkerrins, left-handed. I've never seen him do that before.
Martin is very focused here this week.
Well, there's something here, because Emmett did the same thing to him after he won the first game, and Martin just did it back 2 times in a row. We saw it from Martin. That second time was really full of energy. Inside out, Emmett down the left wall, going to go down the right here, hits that right corner. Martin thought he was going to do what I said and slide it down the right. Instead, clips the corner, gets the wide kill, pass, whatever you want to call it. It's a kill for me, pass for most other people.
Well, Emmett hit that with a natural, which means he was trying to go down straight down the right wall, but he clipped the corner and fooled Martin.
Second serve.
Oh, Martin with such an easy miss there. Dave, we've talked about this in the past, but how does something like that happen? Everything looked good. I guess when you're trying to hit the ball 1 inch high, you're not going to make it every time.
Well, I think you have a good artist like Emmett, you just go for those. You made a decision to go for broke, and sometimes you break. Smart shot from Emmett, but look at that laser from Martin Mulkerrins, and another laser back from Emmett Peixoto. Flat rollout. Left-handed down the left wall.
Orange County? 3 plays 5.
So since that amazing celebration and kill shot from Martin, Emmett earned the side out.
Point.
And now 3 straight points.
That's your first time out, Martin. 1 minute. 4-5. Yeah, 4-5.
That's why, Dave, you try and keep an even keel when you're competing. Maybe Martin got himself a little bit too juiced up with that celebration.
Yeah, but look at that flat rollout from Emmett, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you get juiced up, but Martin made a great shot. I mean, these guys are so equally matched, with Emmett just slightly with the advantage, and you're seeing it on the scoreboard here.
30 seconds.
Martin's been the recipient of some close losses in Ireland over the last 6 or 7 months. Run into his good friend Dermot Nash, who beat him a couple of times. Just recently lost to Smokin' Joe McCann after leading 20-11 in the first game. Just seems like for whatever reason, Martin's not getting over the hump.
Resuming play. 4 plays 5.
You have to remember, Dave, a guy like Martin is just so competitive. He grew up as a hurling and Gaelic football star, played handball but didn't really commit himself to it until he was about 17. And Dave, you know how competitive those Irish GAA sports are. Now Martin kind of unraveling here.
Together at 5.
Yeah, and we're still just tied at 5. Oh, and that's a flat over-the-top kill from waist high.
You appeal the
Martin
serve?
Mulkerrins
I call that serve good.
goes over the top, and now they're appealing.
Both agree. Together at 5.
There should be 5-5 on the scoreboard. There's the side out.
Big setup here for Martin.
Check the wall. Yeah.
Ball broke. Referee has plenty of those warmed up handballs there in his pocket. And he's happy to see you if you went over there to give him some more.
Oh.
Yeah. You said it's on Thursday?
Danielle Daskalakis takes down Courtney Peixoto in the women's round of 8, defeating her 15-14 and 15-9. So Danielle advances on.
You said wet towel?
You're watching this men's round of 16 action on the show court. We'll have Yvonne August, former 2004 women's national champion, going up against Tracy Davis after this match concludes right here on the show court. That'll be a good one. Warming up a new ball is Mulkerrins and Peixoto here at the Olympic Club San Francisco. It's the race for 8. Men's round of 16 match. Are you kidding me? This could be a national finals.
Resuming play.
But that's just what happens.
Together at 5. Second serve.
Oh, nice shot right there. Mulkerrins. Emmett Peixoto digs it out. I don't know how he does it, but he does. He gets his hand back on that one, too. Peixoto pinned to the left wall. Mulkerrins goes to the right. Emmett overplays it, gets to the ball. Mulkerrins still keeping it alive. And it's as if Emmett's playing Emmett here. Oh, look at that wide pass kill off the left side wall there. 2-all pass from Mulkerrins with authority, and he gets that side out. And after about 40 shots, Dave, I mean, it's unreal what we're watching here because it looks like we're seeing the same person play the same person.
You say that seemingly with everyone Martin plays, that he's, I don't think Emmett and Martin are all that similar.
Well,
I mean, except for the fact that they're both playing handball.
if you blur your eyes, they look the same.
I don't know about that.
Well, just making a judgment call. You can't go to video replay or.
I can judge your
appeal it.
judgment.
You
That's
can.
what I do.
You're going to go to hell, but.
Second serve. Check ball. Second serve.
Almost a double fault there for Martin.
Hold it, good ball. Thank you.
Martin was never really in that rally. A bad second serve, and it drills the return and then has an even easier setup, puts it away for a side out.
5 play 6.
Oh, there we go. It's about time that camera got hit. And we actually said it would happen during this match, so I'm glad to see that.
Wow, how do these players know where it goes?
I don't know.
Perfect.
It really
I mean, how do they
frustrates
know?
me. It frustrates me that it takes me, what, 30 minutes to set this
Yeah.
up in our studio, and the players just go over there with one hand like it's no big deal. Paul Brady waves at it like it's a, you know, some kind of trick ride at a carnival. That one's going to hit it too, and I'm sure it did. I mean, if it didn't, I don't know how it didn't. Emmett walks over and just flips it up like, yeah, I've done this my whole life.
Second serve.
And all of a sudden, what looks so promising for Martin is not looking promising any longer.
8 play 6.
It's now 8-6 in favor of Peixoto.
Play 8. Short. Second serve. Check the ball. Yeah, 2 serves. Yep. 6 play 8. Check the ball. No. Okay. Six play 8.
Oh, can't believe it.
Hold it, replay that. 6 play 8. Seven, 8. Okay. Shirt change.
And now, Dave, we are going to take a quick timeout here as Emmett Peixoto changes his shirt after a 2-minute floor timeout. You stay tuned.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
to be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at actionheroalliance.com.
Emmett Peixoto looks like he's ready to get back into action here. This has been 3 minutes and 53 seconds and counting since the last point was played. Whatever fatigue these guys might have been feeling, I think is gone now. With this extended break.
He changed his shirt.
Yeah, but it was a floor change, 2-minute.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's when he should change his shirt.
Okay. Resuming play. 7 plays 8.
Martin comes in after that 4-minute plus break and hits an ace.
Together at 8.
Ties the score at 8.
Second serve.
Martin is not winning any points on his second serve. I think Emmett's probably got
Together
the best
at 8.
C-serve return in the sport. Has that automatic left-hand corner kill. Great shot there from Emmett.
9 plays 8. Short. Second serve.
This is what Emmett has done this whole match. Every time Martin has either tied or taken a 1-point lead, Emmett comes right back with a 3 or 4 point run. That's what he did to end the first game. And he's done it with that serve down the left. Timeout for Martin Mulkerrins there.
11-8. 1 minute. Resuming play. 11-8.
And that's what I think Martin Mulkerrins needs to go to the next level, is that mid-speed, off-speed paddle re-kill. That's the first one we've seen him execute in this match. Hits every shot pretty much the same pace. Against these top players, Dave, you have to be able to have those in-between shots, because if they keep seeing the fastball on every shot, they're going to adjust.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed with Mulkerrins is that he seems to have one pace. And that would be the only downfall, but I'm telling you, I'd love to have that pace that he has. But if he can just get that extra dimension to his game, whatever that may be.
Well, I think that's probably it, but I noticed that he is fly killing more than he was last time we saw him.
I mean, that's unreal right there. But
Serve good, they both agree.
but still, even though it's unreal, it would be nice to see him flip it up to the roof or hit a paddle shot or just change it a little bit. Emmett had that as a young kid, just starting out.
Big setup for Emmett, but he does not put it away.
Wow. I believe Martin, when he plays handball and he hits those shots, he's winning rallies. And when you're at the collegiate level or you're back home sparring with your handball mate, whatever it is, I think he's, getting the confidence that he's playing really good handball. But you go up against number 3 in the world, and all of a sudden they're digging those shots out, and you have to do multiple times. You have to hit the same shot and refine it in the middle of a rally to get even lower. I mean, this is the real test here.
Martin should have won the rally on that first strike.
Yeah, but we keep saying that. Look at that. He should win that one, and he finally does. And now we're tied at 11, and more emotion here from Martin, and there's going to be a timeout.
Scores 11 up.
A lot of emotion from both guys here. There's a lot of emotion swings.
Let's watch that instant replay. I believe Emmett is exhausted here, Dave. You brought it up earlier, but boy, you can look at him. Look at his skin color. I mean, it's just really clammy and white.
Well, they did have that 4-minute break. I thought both guys came in fresh, but I think now Emmett again tired, and it comes from Emmett not controlling the center of the court. He's doing seemingly more of the running than Martin.
Do you think
winning? He's winning a lot of the rallies despite doing all the running, but it really seems like it's Martin dictating most of these rallies.
You saw Paul Brady sitting there in the first row. Do you believe that he is here to support Martin, or is he watching what's going on with Emmett? Because in my opinion, Emmett's the one obstacle in the United States that really gives Paul any type of fits, and kind of half feel that possibly Paul's here to scope out what could possibly work against Emmett.
Well, before we go all the way to fits, you have to remember Sean Lenning has taken him to tiebreakers twice. Luis Moreno has beat him and taken him to tiebreakers. Emmett has never won a game against Paul Brady. So yeah, he's had a good game in Houston against him. And there's the fly kill that Martin needs, and that time he just shanks it. Big miss.
Together at 11.
–
like that shot from Emmett. And he punch fists that ball past Martin Mulkerrins for a point.
Martin led 12-11 in game number 1 and lost 15-12.
Went for an elite rollout, missed it.
That's a tough shot to attempt in that spot. Oh, and Emmett gets a big, huge ace there, and Emmett grabs his back there. I think, and Emmett's now having some back spasms, Dave. And he said he's had problems with his lower back over the last couple of weeks.
That doesn't count as an injury timeout, though, unfortunately for him.
A back spasm doesn't count?
No, can't. Well, it would be considered a cramp, and it's.
Okay, I'm gonna start the clock right now.
I don't think
it's not an injury.
I don't think a back spasm's a cramp. I think it's a spasm. I don't consider it a cramp.
It would be considered a cramp, and that we just call it a spasm, but it would be a cramp of the back.
Is there a doctor listening that could clarify
well,
that?
they're all around the club here, but there is no injury timeout on a back spasm, so I'm really not sure why this is happening here.
Well, this is what happened to Tiger Woods. This is when he initially hurt his knee on a celebration, Dave. After a made putt, he celebrated and tore his ACL. Emmett celebrated that serve, and his back went into spasm.
Just not so confident that this is actually allowable. I mean, I completely just say to the referee that was spasming. I don't. That's not an injury. That's just a spasm.
So what's an injury then? I mean, you can't move because your back went into spasm. What would be considered an injury?
I'm against the rule myself, but it is the rule. I mean, I read it on Court Shorts, so I know it exists. But
well, so you're disputing the actual rule, but
I don't like the rule, but it is
but
the
it
rule.
Is legal what he's doing right now.
You can't take an injury timeout on a cramp. It says it right in the.
This isn't a cramp
rule.
though.
A cramp is a spasm, Dave. I hate that you're making yourself so uneducated here.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's just another word. I mean,
because cramps generally are gone.
It's the same thing.
But cramps are generally gone the next day. Spasms last for 5 or 6 days.
Well,
I see you, shrugging and nodding. I mean,
I just don't know what to say. I've said what I need to say.
I feel like I've done the same. I mean,
well, let's talk about other things.
Well,
we have the airtime, the availability, I guess.
Emmett Peixoto is at match point now.
I call it mache.
What do you do here if you're Martin?
I go on the court and throw the ball around.
No, but when play resumes, I mean, do you try and, because he's facing match point here. Emmett's going to put a serve in play regardless. Does Martin now say, well, I'm going to just drive this ball right at him and play it safe, hit it as hard as I can, and try and see if he can move, or does he go for the shot that he would normally take, which might be a kill shot attempt?
I say you go, well, that's a good point. I mean, if you had more points to go.
No, it's match point.
Well, I'm just saying, if you had more to go, it would be let's throw it around. But I think you just have to go for whatever is available to you at this juncture.
But let's say Emmett serves him a lob serve to his left that barely comes off the back. Okay. Martin may shoot that shot normally.
Martin needs to push him around the court and get him out of the front court.
So in that spot,
yes, get him out of the front court.
Hit it cross court hard and make Emmett move.
Make Emmett get out of the server's box and then not go for the kill shot. Go for, let's get him out of the server's box.
That's a lot of pressure, though, on Martin, because he's thinking, well, I definitely don't want to hit this ball on the ground, but I don't know how injured he is either, because if I don't hit a great shot, maybe he has enough in him to hit a kill shot. It's like the Princess Bride, Dave, when he told the prince at the very end, we could have our sword fight here, and I might be compromised. I might not even be able to stand up, but then again, I might rip both your ears out. You don't know.
I believe Emmett went down the corridor here, and we might have a chance to catch a peep. And this is going to be a strange perspective for those at home, so don't get woozy, but we're going to look down.
They've never seen someone lying down before?
Well, no, we're going to look down a stairwell that might be a little, whoa, there we go. And I believe Emmett is located just directly below this. See what I mean?
I think he's in that hallway right there.
No, I got a little sick to my stomach there.
Yeah, no, I can see that. This is kind of unprecedented on the race. I mean, a guy getting to match point and crumbling down with a back spasm.
Here's Martin. You wondered what he would be doing. Here he is.
I don't know, Dave, that lying around is going to really help. I'll speak from personal experience, and I think all back injuries are different, but when my back locks up, it's literally over. I couldn't even play 1 point against a beginner.
Then that would be a reoccurring injury, and therefore it's no injury timeout.
I don't know.
I also read that as well, and I know you have because you're the lead ref at these events. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what reoccurring, how long
well,
ago
you just said when it
reoccurring?
happens. It
No,
means
but
it sounds like it's been happening, so therefore when it happens again, it would be a reoccurring
no,
injury.
I'm saying when it's happened for me.
Uh-huh.
But it's not about me.
Well, I'm just saying,
I mean,
it's a reoccurring injury. So
okay, but if I hurt my arm 5 years ago and then it starts hurting me, can I not take an injury?
Is it the
timeout?
same pain that you had from 5 years ago?
I don't
same
know.
injury?
I mean, it's hard to describe pain. It's not a tangible thing.
Well, here's the deal. I can tell
Yeah.
you this from just
Okay,
you and I
this is
played.
gonna be great.
You and I played doubles together at a high-profile tournament.
It was. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I knew that the rule exists that there would be no such thing as a pre-existing injury, or that cramping was an injury. And I had this cramp in my calf 2 weeks prior. I developed a cramp when I was playing with you in the same exact spot. And I went out and the referee said, do you want an injury timeout? And I said, no, it's a cramp, so I can't take one. Plus, it's pre-existing because I had this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Come to find out, completely tore my calf. What I thought it was a cramp, and it ended up being a tear. I'm not a doctor, but I played with it because I said, well, everyone plays with a cramp.
Uh-huh.
Complete tear.
Yeah.
I mean, after the match, got the crutches, emergency room and all that. They couldn't even walk. So I know for a fact that I'm not a doctor, so who really could say what an injury is?
So what you're saying is pretty much everything, if it hurts, you take an injury timeout.
I mean, you'd have to take their word for it if they say it's, but we heard it say out of his, my back is spasming, which is just a cramp of your back muscles, which is the back strap. And to me, that you can't call an injury timeout on that as the rule exists.
Okay.
As it exists. Now,
Well, now we have to just determine whether, in fact.
And now our referee is now going down that stairwell to try to find.
I think he actually gets better cell service down there.
Well, the basement would get better cell service. There's no doubt about that. But our referee going down to check out the status of ye player.
This is a strange match.
Well,
Dave. I mean, it's become bizarre now at this point.
I think both Peixoto matches were strange. The Courtney Peixoto match.
Well, you expect that, really. I mean, Martin now checking out some of the women's race for 8 action here on the back court. And if I'm Martin, Dave, I think I'm in the court right now, hitting the ball around.
That's what I thought he should be doing, but.
Now, I believe, Dave, if Emmett's back pain is anything like what I've experienced, if he had 5 points to go to win this match, he probably would have to stop, knowing that there's no way I can win 5 more points. But he might be thinking to himself, you know, I could potentially go in there and serve an ace, or he could miss, or he could hit it right at me and I somehow shovel one in there into the corner for a win.
Well, certainly Emmett's going to go in there and try to minimize his movement on the court if it's that bad. We really don't know what's going on. I know our cameras were shooting down the hallway toward Emmett Peixoto, who's got that injury or whatever's happening with his back, and I know our referee left to go try to find.
Emmett has a physio trainer that's here with him, and I would think that that trainer is working on him right now. We don't see Emmett's wife, which means she's also down there. She's part of that training team, Team Peixoto. She works more on the mental aspect, but she also oversees all of the hiring and firing that comes with hiring of Emmett's team.
Well, there's Martin back on the court here, throwing the ball around. Like you said, he put his long sleeve shirt back on, his hoodie to stay warm. I mean, you have to just think that Martin, who is thrown way off here, has to get all of that juice back. You know, I mean, there's a certain tournament high that you get into sometimes, and whether you're winning or losing, it's still part of what's going on. And it's all been broken. There's been a big deflation. And Jessica Peixoto just walked out of Emmett's massage area. And
I think Emmett might need Mr. Miyagi here. I mean, right now we have no indication of whether this match is going to continue or not. I haven't seen Emmett, and here he is coming up the steps. And Dave, Emmett may have to bluff here. He may have to make it seem like he's feeling good. You know, sometimes, Dave, you got to push it all in with 6 high.
And Peixoto just coming out there. Clearly, he's stepping onto the court, and we're going to resume play here in just a few. We'll listen for that announcement from the referee, who I'm sure is going to give some type of update here.
Emmett gingerly hitting the ball here. Doesn't look to be as bad as I initially thought, but then again, he hasn't really torqued or really tried to swing hard. Moving and swinging and turning at the same time would be the worst thing for his back in this scenario.
Oh, it's really tight when he bent down to pick that up.
He's going to go for a crack here. I think that's the right.
Match point, serves 11.
14-11, Emmett going for that crack, and it looked like he almost got it too. Has Emmett ever talked about having anything with his back?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so everybody has it. I know I have it. I can't even play
Emmett's
anymore.
still making great gets here. And
nice box out from Martin
Oh my.
Mulkerrins.
And the drama now just began, Dave, because now Martin Mulkerrins is in the server's box. Emmett is in an absolutely enormous amount of pain. Dave, you said you've had it. I know I've had it.
It's the worst feeling
the
ever.
worst.
I mean, you just can't get.
Towel.
And there's really nothing you can do about it either.
No, well, you can wait about 2 weeks. That's about your only hope.
Uh, 11-14. Resuming play. 11 plays 14.
And now I think Martin will just go for his shots.
Short.
He can't lose the match while he's serving.
Second serve.
Almost a double fault.
Right down the middle, big setup for Emmett. Goes right to the right corner, gets it, gets a round of applause too from the crowd. And
Martin just played that point terribly, Dave. Just a terrible second serve that was almost a double fault. And then a wildly overhit
Match
fist.
point, serves 11.
And here it is, match point.
Wow.
Oh, that's an amazing laser shot left-handed from Martin Mulkerrins.
Down match point though, Dave.
Yeah.
From 30 feet. I mean, that ball's an inch lower and the match is over.
11 serves 14.
Martin's had a couple chances to serve, but no points yet.
Just his second serve here.
That's a couple.
And Emmett looks like he's actually hitting the ball pretty well now.
Match point, serves 11.
Third attempt to get one more point for him. Emmett Peixoto here, and he's going to get it on this shot. Doesn't do it. Martin, yes, he does. He actually does do it. Handcuffs Martin Mulkerrins, defeats him 15-12, 15-11, and he advances to the quarterfinals. And it was a tough fought match, and you know Martin has to be frustrated with himself here. I think he let this one go.
Yeah.
It's really quiet here, but that match is over. Emmett Peixoto taking down Martin Mulkerrins, and you can see how slow he is getting down to the bench there as he clearly has some issues with his bad back. We're going to take a break. Yvonne August Going to go up against Tracy Davis, women's round of 8 action next on this show. Court, stick around, more action. And actually the last match of the day, which will be right here on the show court at the Olympic Club. It's the race for 8, women's race, men's race for Dave Fink, Dave Vincent. Stick around. We'll be back.